What's up and welcome in, Bulls Nation. You found yourselves locked on Bulls. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. Up ahead on today's episode, we're taking your texts from our mailbag line, which, by the way, is 331-979-1369. We got a lot of fun topics. Which Ball brother is better, LaMelo or Lonzo? Why did the Bulls call Boogie Cousins before the Bucks signed him? And what should the Bulls do about their lack of volume three-point shooting? That's all ahead on a fresh Locked On Bulls. Let's go.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up and welcome into Locked On Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my co-host Big Dave at BAWL, BAWL Sports. You can follow us at Locked On Bulls. Shoot us a text or leave us a voicemail at 331-979-1369 for our mailbag episodes, which we're doing today in just a minute. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility. So start now at shopify.com/lockedonnba. Big Dave, happy Thursday. We're about 4 hours or so away from a Bulls-Knicks tip-off at MSG tonight. Bulls and Knicks have split the first two games of the season series, the Bulls winning game 2 back at the UC. You excited? Bulls-Knicks at the Garden, man. Nothing better.
I am very, very excited. I cannot wait for this game. It's very exciting. It's just good to be back. It's just good to have Knicks Bulls back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good thing to have. And it happening in Madison Square Garden, you can't wait to see what Spike Lee is going to be wearing. I can't wait to see all the celebrities that are going to be front row. I can't wait to feel the roar of that crowd who is going to be on top of us, to hear that organ going, playing defense and stuff. I can't wait for all that stuff. And then I can't wait for the Bulls to win. So, yeah, I'm excited about all this.
Can Zach LaVine dunk over Julius Randle and then tell Spike Lee to sit back down? Is that something that we can see tonight? Because I would love to see that.
Sit your ass down.
Speaking of, the Knicks are an interesting team, up and down. I think they're 11-10 coming into this game tonight. And bold move from Coach Tom Thibodeau recently sitting Kemba Walker down, saying, sorry, you're out of the rotation. Alec Burks playing really well for them. We got somebody in our text line wondering about Kemba Walker and the Bulls. So we will get to that later on. But let's kick things off with a simple question here from a texter at the 708 who said, hey, guys, who do you think is the better player, Lonzo or LaMelo? Fans were chanting Lonzo's better at the UC last night, LOL. Do you think that they're different enough to ever be on the same team, or are they too similar? I feel like Lonzo is better defensively, Melo better offensively, but they're very close in the way that they play. Big Dave, that's a very interesting question, and one that I think a lot of people are wondering about, because LeVar has said, Ball Sr. has said he would love to see two or all three of his sons playing on the same NBA team at some point, and even mentioned Chicago is a great place for that. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves with that. I don't think AK and Eversley are thinking about how can we get LaMelo Ball here kind of move right now. I think they're figuring out how to maximize the work they did in the offseason to make this team a playoff team that makes a run this season. But just for the sake of fun conversation, what do you think about the question of which one's better between Lonzo and LaMelo?
It's a weird question because I can't just point out and say that player is better. I think the person who sent this said it best. Like, Lonzo, I think, is better defensively, and LaMelo, I think, is better offensively. Like, Lonzo I've been saying, first team on defense for a while for him. You watch his IQ on the court and just how intelligent he is. You watch his passing skills, which is just off the chart. You see his 3-point shooting, which also improved. But everything he does on the defensive side of the ball is just 9s and 10s across the board, pretty much, for him. Now with LaMelo, it's more excitement. The handles are crazy. The passing is amazing, but then he will score. Like we saw, like the Bucks game that just happened last night, and a great
Oh
game
my
by the way.
gosh.
Great game, by the way. He had
Yeah.
38 points. I think he
Yeah.
was 8 of 15 shooting from 3-point line, like 9 rebounds with it. You know what I'm saying? It did like 5 or 7 assists. I can't remember. But he had 7 turnovers. But he had, but he had like 5 assists. But the dude is a monster, a really, really great point guard as far as scoring and ball handling and things like that are concerned. It's hard, honestly, for me to just say this one is better. I don't know. I'm gonna say, I guess I'll go with the one that's on my team, but I'm not mad if anybody picks LaMelo. Like, honestly, I don't think it's a wrong answer here. To answer the second part of what he said, they can definitely both play together. Like they grew up playing together. Like, how could they not? That's like asking, can Venus and Serena be on the doubles team? You know what I'm saying? Of
Right.
course they
Yeah.
can. Like, they play together. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, it's what they do. So yeah, I think they would be amazing together, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's simple to say, look, Lonzo is certainly a more versatile player on the defensive end. He can guard more positions, and I think he creates more positive game flow moments with his defensive prowess than LaMelo does.
Mhm.
Not to say that LaMelo is just like a scrub defensively, but he just doesn't have the length that Lonzo has, and I think that maybe in a certain degree they both have incredible court vision. I think Lonzo sees the court a little bit better on the defensive end than LaMelo does right now.
Mhm.
Obviously, LaMelo has that flashy, element to his offensive game, and people think of him more so as like maybe the next Steph, the next Dame when it comes to his 3-point range. And like
Mm.
some of those shots he was making in that Bucks Hornets game that you mentioned last night were ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. But if you actually look at their shooting splits this season, LaMelo is shooting 39%, just over 39% from downtown this season.
Mhm.
Lonzo's at 44.
Wow.
Lonzo, far and away the Bulls' best 3-point shooter so far this season.
Mhm.
But he doesn't have the scoring and facilitating role that LaMelo has with Charlotte right now. LaMelo averaging 20 and 8, not to mention 7 rebounds for this Hornets
Mm.
team. He is at the center of everything they're doing.
Mhm.
And maybe if the Bulls don't have Zach and don't have DeMar and don't
Mhm.
have Vooch, you would see a different version of Lonzo, a higher usage percentage version of Lonzo that we're not seeing. But, the question of which one's better, I think that LaMelo is very well suited for what the Hornets are doing around him right now. And
Mhm.
Lonzo was a very valuable piece to add to what the Bulls are building. And he, in his role, is doing a very good job so far this season.
Yeah, no question about it. They both have been great for their teams, like both of them. The Bulls wouldn't be where they are without Lonzo, and Hornets definitely wouldn't be where they are without LaMelo. Yeah, but when you saw them play together, even that was a great matchup. You saw uh uh Lonzo get the best of LaMelo defensively on a couple of occasions on that, and he got the win. But there were many times you're watching LaMelo, especially during that fourth quarter run. You watch LaMelo playing, you were just like, "Oh my god, like this dude is the truth out here. He is serious." So, yeah, man. Slight edge to Lonzo because he's on my team. That's what I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna say he's on my squad. I'm gonna give him that edge, and he does so many just intangible, wonderful things out there. Whereas LaMelo is, smooth and flashy, and it looks amazing out there. I love watching him play, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
LeVar should be very excited.
And as they both enter their NBA primes, it would be cool to see them play on the same NBA team because we
Yeah.
haven't seen them play together since what they were playing Chino Hills, and LaMelo
Mhm.
was like 13 years old or whatever.
Oh,
Like
he sure was.
it's been a minute, and they've both gotten much better than they were when they were highly touted high school prospects. So
That's true.
yeah, I think don't worry yourself about like, hey, like could the Bulls maybe get LaMelo in, or dude, embrace the fact that we have Lonzo and admire LaMelo for the amazing player that he's become already in
Mhm.
just his second NBA season. I think, if one of those two players were to make the All-Star team right now this season, it's looking like LaMelo. But
Yeah,
that
agreed.
doesn't mean that Lonzo's doing exactly what the Bulls need him to be doing every night.
It's a great way to put it, man. It's a great breakdown on that.
All right, we got more mailbag to get to. Before we do that, Big Dave, tell the people the wonderful people out there about this thing called Shopify.
Oh, listen. If you're tired of that hand-to-hand transaction and you're trying to get your business off, you want to put some more money in your hip pocket and you're trying to grow your business and you're like, man, this is tough. This is hard. I don't know what to do. Kids running around crazy. The person I'm doing the show with, he don't want to show up on time. He's never here. I'm pulling my hair out. I don't know what to do. Shopify is here for you, y'all. All right. Shopify is here for you. It is a complete commerce platform that lets you start, grow, and manage your business. It's a subscription-based software that allows anyone to set up an online store and sell their products. Shopify store owners can also sell in physical locations, all right, using Shopify POS, our point of sale app, and accompanying hardware. Now, Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business. Now, big business thought they had it. Nope. Now you can have it. You got those things. So upstarts, startups, established businesses alike can sell anywhere and everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly, and I said effortlessly, stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey, y'all, of endless possibility. And Shopify helps you make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. So this is what you do. You go to shopify.com/locked on NBA, all lowercase, okay? Locked on NBA. And what you're going to get? A free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. You can grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/locked on NBA. That's shopify.com/locked on NBA. Because my mama told me you better Shopify. Oh, that was amazing.
One of the many valuable life lessons that Mama told us. You gotta get Shopify. Today's episode is also brought to you by TrueBill. I know there's no way you would ever regret signing up for a Shopify account because it's awesome. But maybe there are some accounts lingering around in all of your nooks and crannies of your tech life, your online life. Maybe something you signed up for in quarantine and you don't need anymore. Plenty of people going through that recently, and you don't want to deal with the hassle of canceling those unwanted and unneeded subscriptions. That's where TrueBill comes in. TrueBill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot existed. On average, people save up to $720 a year with TrueBill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your account and TrueBill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions for you in one simple tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now, TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. It could save you thousands of dollars a year. TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA.
Yeah.
All right, Big Dave. Talking about how we're looking forward to this Bulls-Knicks game tonight. Here is this question from the 808.
Okay.
Is Coby White for Kemba Walker a fair trade? I'm gonna let you take this.
Thank you, Matt. Is Coby White for Kemba Walker a fair trade? Yes. I think it's a fair trade. Kemba Walker, we know what Kemba Walker is. You know, he's an all-star, a dude who can drop 40 for you. When he gets hot, he's hot. I talked about when I was on Locked On NBA, how when he played against the Bulls, and I'm sure you remember this, Matt, how he was on fire from the three-point line, and he was just scorching the Bulls from the three-point line. I think he ended up with 19 that game. He didn't even play a lot of minutes, but he was scoring. He's definitely can put the ball into the basket. He definitely can win for your team. Coby White, he's not Kemba Walker, but he can get hot like that. Definitely. There's too much proof to that to show you that he can. The game where he had the 8 3-pointers, it was just marvelous. And it seems that Coby likes to score in that fourth quarter. It seems like when the fourth quarter shows up, so does Coby White. Is the trade trade fair? Yes, it's fair. It's a fair trade. Because Coby is still, growing into something. We don't fully know what he'll be and fully know that level of scorer that he'll be. But Kemba Walker is what he is, and he's not going any further, but he can still help a team, especially if he's coming off the bench. He could definitely help a squad that way. So yeah, I think it's a fair trade. I do.
In some ways, it's a fair trade. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a trade I would be in favor of the Bulls making.
Oh, that wasn't the question. No, it's not a trade I want to make. But it's a fair trade.
I kind of assume that our texter was asking that because they were curiously interested in getting in getting Kemba Walker in a Bulls jersey. Like, why else would you ask that question?
No,
and unless you're just desperate to get rid of Coby White and will take anything for him, and know that because he's recently been benched by Tom Thibodeau, that Kemba Walker is very much so on the trading block between now and the trade deadline. Just looking at contracts real quick, Coby's still on that rookie year, or still on that rookie contract. This season, 5.8. Next year, the final year, if he's not extended this summer, 7.4. He's got a qualifying offer in 23-24 for just under $10 million. And those are standard numbers based on the fact that he's a top 10 pick in a time when pre-pandemic, those rookies in the top 10 lottery were getting these big contracts. And meanwhile, Kemba Walker, not a max player anymore. The deal he signed with the Knicks, 2 years, 17.8. He's making 8.7 this year, 9.1 next year. So those numbers line up in a pretty seamless way if you were going to try and do some kind of simple player for player swap there. Clearly, the Kemba thing in New York was a bust. I can't remember if you and I talked about it on the pod when that signing was made, but I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense. I'm like, you got all these young players. You already got a vet point guard like D Rose. Like, what are you bringing in Kemba Walker for? Yeah. And he hasn't been awful, I don't think, this season. But if you're a name like Kemba Walker and a highly respected coach around the NBA, like Tom Thibodeau says, sorry, you're benched. Alec Burks, step right up. And I'm not trying to, stick my nose up at Alec Burks. He's a fine player.
He's been playing well, yeah. No, I hear you, Matt.
Yeesh.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I definitely hear you. And here's the other reason I wouldn't make that trade, though, is because I really like what Coby White's been doing defensively. And Kemba Walker is not that dude on the defense, which is why he's on the bench. Which is because Tibbs, Matt, Tibbs values that hard, okay? He values that hard. The only reason he didn't trip on D Rose about it is because it was Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? When you're that kind of player,
giving you 30 and 7 every night.
Right. The reason you're winning. Oh yeah, he'll suspend it then. But if you're gonna be just averaging 15, 14 points, and just might get hot one day and might not the next day. Tibbs ain't going for that. He wants effort and he wants defense. And Kemba Walker is not going to give you that defense. Coby White is showing you effort and defense since he's been back. And hopefully he comes back very soon from the COVID. But yeah, he's been showing me that since he's been out there on the floor. So that's one of the reasons I wouldn't make that trade, because I've been really impressed with him defensively.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Kemba and Coby, I think, are in the same boat of you're not excited about them defensively. You're trying to hide them defensively. And I know that you are.
He's better, man.
You're liking what you're seeing from Coby on the defensive end. But
he's better.
If the if the subtext of that texter's question was, should the Bulls go after Kemba Walker? My answer is no. And let me think. No. But interesting comp between those two players. One a vet, one still trying to find his way in the NBA, with some similarities to their game. All right, Big Dave. I think we talked about this like before the season started or as it was just getting going. But let's check in again now with this interesting topic that comes to us from Jeff in the 302, who said, "Thanks for the great discussion on the pod. Caruso has double-digit scoring in 3 of the last 4 games. What level of scoring do you believe he needs to attain to have a shot at that 6th man award?" This is an interesting question, Dave, because I think if it were just the defensive stuff that we would be seeing from Caruso, and maybe, he didn't start the season shooting all that well. His shooting started to pick up. He started to, in certain spots in these recent stretch of games, look for his opportunities to score, whether it's behind the 3-point line or sometimes he's putting the ball on the floor and getting to little mid-range spots that he likes, that he's knocking down. You also know he's lethal as a cutter, making backdoor cuts, making baseline cuts. We know he can finish at the rim. I mean, do you think that there has to be some kind of at least floor of, got to give me at least 10 points a game if you're going to be in the talk for 6th man of the year?
Yeah, that's kind of the rule, right? Like, you got to give me that. And if you're not giving me that, then it has to be something truly lethal that you're doing off the bench. And to his credit, he is doing something truly lethal, because the defense he is playing is amazing. And he's number 1 in John Sabin's favorite stat. He's leading the league in steals. He steals. Like, he's been number 1 in that. So that's showing you. That's that's showing you that he's really, really, really good at that, and he's playing very well defensively, and he has been an anchor for the Chicago Bulls defensively, and has made other players better by what you've seen him do out there on the floor. And the little plays that he makes, man. Like, we watched him just clamp down guys, like just truly clamp them down. And I'm talking about their best players. Like, just give fits. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have straight up issues. As Julius Randle, for goodness sakes. Like, he had issues dealing with Caruso, man. Like, it was a problem. So yeah, I think he should be in the running. But as far as like leading candidate, yeah, he's got to get those 10 points. Like, I think that's important, especially from a guard position, Matt. He's got to get those 10 points a game if that's what he wants as far as that 6th man of the year. But he has the opportunity to get it. Like, the shot's been falling the last few games. I feel I don't know about you, Matt, but when I see him behind the 3-point line, I'm very confident. When I see him shooting that 3, I'm like, oh, it just feels like it's going in every single time when he's out there. So yeah, he should definitely be in the running though. I'm agreement with that.
He is right now averaging 8.7 points per game, and that's probably ticked up a bit, as our texter Jeff mentioned, because of this recent stretch of games and that game where he dropped 22. But I think more often than not, he has been looking to say, okay, what's my role? What does this team need from me tonight? And shooting and scoring is usually not in the top 2 on that list of what does the team need from Alex Caruso tonight.
True.
But 8.7, if he continues to have some strong games and look to find the spots where he can score and keep that above 10. The other thing that Alex Caruso does have going for him right now, knock on wood, is if he bumps that scoring up a little bit, continues to play at an elite defensive level, and the Bulls are a winning team, that's how players get votes for individual awards. If what they're doing sticks out in a positive, noticeable way on a team that wins.
That's it. That's it right there. There's nothing else to it. If your team is the best, and a team that nobody was picking to be where they are right now, and you're one of the reasons why they are there, you're absolutely right, Matt. They're gonna be looking at that. So him, Derrick Rose, who's averaging I think like 12 and 5, and Patty Mills, who's averaging like 12 and 5, something like that. Those guys are definitely in the running as well. And also, but yeah, Caruso, he's got a shot. It's not like he don't. He definitely has a shot at it.
All right, we've got a couple more topics we're going to try and get to, one involving Boogie Cousins, one involving Bulls 3-point shooting. Before that, Big Dave, we got Thursday Night Football, Cowboys Saints, we got Bulls Knicks, we got TNT, NBA doubleheader, all kinds of fun stuff that maybe you should try and make some money on.
Oh, you just want to bathe in the sports. It's my favorite time, guys. And I know what you want to do. You want to bathe in the props and the odds and the lines. And you know where you need to go? Bet online, because they've got you covered with all that all season long as football season continues to march into the playoffs, as college football is getting to bowl season, as college basketball is getting underway, and as the NBA is in full swing. Bet Online remains your number one spot for all sports action this season. So just head to that new updated website, or get your phone, use your mobile device and sign up today. Receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. First, all right? Use the promo code LOCKED ON to receive your bonus. That's Locked On Basketball, football, boxing, hockey, UFC, favorite Vegas casino game, darts, whatever. Don't wait. Take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest. BetOnline is the easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Sports.
All right, with that, we move along. Our next text comes to us from Beverly in the 773. Okay. Said, hey guys, love the pod. Ever thought about having a female guest host? I'm available. Just saying. Yeah, because that would mean at least one of us gets a day off. So, hit us up. We'd love to bring you on.
For real.
Anyway, I thought Bulls would have pulled the trigger to get Boogie Butta, a.k.a. Cousins. Do people call him Boogie Butta? Did I miss that?
I've never heard that ever, but
okay. They need some size bad. It's starting to become a glaring deficit. They passed on him, and the Bucks scooped him up on a non-guaranteed try. Why do you think AK and Eversley passed on him, and do they ever ask the big three their opinion on such issues? Could it possibly be because Boogie's locker room reputation hasn't been great in some instances? Thanks. And that was Beverly in Chicago. Thanks for checking in, Bev. Look, you are not the only person who was sitting there before the Bucks signed Boogie. Like, basically, when Vooch went down and we had to watch a game of Tony Bradley, Bulls Twitter was rife with people saying, Boogie, 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 rocking everywhere. I was sitting here saying, no thanks. I'm good. But what about you, Big Dave?
That's my guy right there. That is Matthew Peck, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was brilliant. Shout out Bubba Sparks. No, I don't want Boogie. And I think, and I said this before, Matt, it just seems that AK and Mark Eversley have a type when they're searching for those players, all right? High IQ guys that get along well in with the team and don't really have those off the court or even on the court issues and things like that. And Boogie Cousins is awesome. Like, I've always been a Boogie Cousins fan, but I never thought it would be a fit for this team with Boogie Cousins. The Bulls you could just look at how they operate, Matt. They don't like distraction. They don't like all that, you know what I'm saying? They don't like all that extra stuff. Boogie Cousins will bring you extra stuff. That's what he do. He will get you some technical fouls. You know what I'm saying? He will get you some hard fouls. He will get into that conversation and he'll muck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, in some teams that definitely works, and it works well with a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? We saw him. It's why he's still in the league. It's why he's signing with another team with Milwaukee, who I think is honestly a good fit for him because of the type of goons they got on that team. Him and Bobby Portis, yeah, that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that works. You know what I mean? I don't think it works here with the Bulls. I think they're also worried, Matt, about his injury history as well. I think that's part of it too. But yeah, I think that's the main thing is the Bulls have a type, and it just didn't seem like in my head that Boogie Cousins fit that type that this Bulls organization likes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Look, Beverly's not wrong to cite the fact that the Bulls are a undersized team right now.
Fact.
You know who I think is okay with that? Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
They know what they are. They know who they are, and I'm with you. I think AK and Eversley built this roster to accentuate some of the strengths of their best player, Zach LaVine, which is let's get a lot of lengthy guys who can defend and switch multiple defensive positions. Let's get guys who can get out and run with Zach and transition offense and fast break opportunities. Let's get guys who can score in a variety of ways. Boogie just does not really fit a lot of what this Bulls new front office and Billy Donovan collectively are trying to make this Bulls team look like. I think he would stick out like a sore thumb on the floor no matter what you tried to do with him. I also didn't love what I saw from Boogie in his short stints with the Rockets and the Clippers. His most two recent stops. He looked kind of washed to me. Yeah. So whereas the Bucks are a team defending a title and we're dealing with a lot of injuries to start their season, maybe they were a bit more desperate to make a chance flyer grab like Boogie than the Bulls are. The Bulls, the Bucks have gone on this big run now, including that tight game against Charlotte the other night. I think the Bucks have won like 7 or 8 in a row now, but they started bad this season, and a lot of it was because of a lack of health. I think it was just announced earlier today, Brook Lopez is having back surgery and is out indefinitely. Like, they thought they were about to get him back. No, back surgery. Maybe they kind of saw that coming before it went public and, doubled down on their, we really need somebody in that front court. And I think that the Bucks play in a way that is more half-courty than the Bulls do. And Boogie fits a little bit better. I mean, I might be oversimplifying, but I really think it's like you said, Boogie just doesn't fit what the Bulls are doing this season.
Yeah, you that is an excellent point that I wasn't even thinking about. But you're right, scheme-wise, also, it doesn't really fit because it fits perfectly with Milwaukee. They can take their time, and go inside and pound it inside and do all that kind of thing. He doesn't have to be running up and down. The Bulls run. The Bulls are trying to move, man. Run. They are up and they are down the floor. That is what they do. They run and run and run.
The Bulls are trench coat, or not trench coat, poncho with a beard, Forrest Gump. Like, that is the Bulls this season.
I'm
just
tired
felt
now.
like running.
It happens. But yeah, like, you want that, and a guy who's 7 feet tall would come, with a bad Achilles. You know what I mean? Like, just I don't see it. You got to run. That's the thing. That's why Tony Bradley still gets it, because Tony, for his flaws and all the things, Tony Bradley runs.
He runs.
Tony Bradley gets up and down the floor. That's what he does, man. Marco gets up and down the floor. Like, that's a type. They have a type, okay? So when you see the Bulls go make a move during the buyout or making a trade or something like that for a big, it will be somebody who has to run, man. And somebody who get up and down the floor. Tristan Thompson, I'm looking at you. I want him. I want him, man. I want Tristan Thompson.
That's too much proximity to the Kardashian family, Dave. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. I guess it would be cool to see Pete Davidson hanging out courtside at the United Center if he and Kim stopped by.
Maybe it might get a little messy. I don't know, man. Might get a little messy. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if Chicago would be cool with him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, I don't know how it work out.
All right, let's just wrap up with this final text message. This one comes to us from the 331.
Okay.
Who says, "My name is Benny the Bull." Benny, is that you? My name is Benny, and I'm mad as a bull after their 2 slacking losses. It's bad enough they don't have a single player who can be counted on to hit some threes every night, but then they go out and slack off against the Rockets and the Heat. Have the Bulls even had a good win yet? Against the Jazz were missing Mike Conley and maybe someone else. The Nets were missing Kyrie Irving. The Clippers missing Kawhi Leonard. That's it. Teams in the East better than the Bulls if these teams are healthy include the Bucks, Nets, Sixers, and Heat. Can we even say the Bulls are better than the Pacers? I'm not sure about the Wizards because I don't know anything about them. Okay. DeRozan had his mid-range points again, but the Bulls won last night because Lonzo and Vooch made their threes, which doesn't happen enough for any Bulls players. For example, if I'm not mistaken, that 6 of 6 on threes for Vooch matched his career high. I love the Bulls, but they need to get behind the three-point line and practice. I have a 12-year-old daughter who shoots better than 50% from three-point range. All right, Benny.
Yes, sir.
Benny, is it?
I believe you, Benny.
There's a lot to unpack there, Dave.
A whole lot, Matt. A whole lot there.
First of all, I'm guessing that your daughter, kudos to her for her basketball skills. And, I'm sure you're a very supportive parent. Not shooting 50% behind the NBA three-point line.
I don't know. Maybe.
A little bit different. And if she is, wow.
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 What are we doing? Why are you sending us mail? You need to be more focused on getting her on somebody's court. All right.
The one thing in this text from him, this rambling text that I thought was valid to bring up, is the Bulls' lack of volume when it comes to three-point shooting. Sure. Percentage-wise, the Bulls, last time I checked, were like 6th or 7th in the NBA in percentage of threes knocked down. Volume is like near the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Everything else he said about the quality of wins and the East teams and I don't know about the Wizards because I don't know anything about all of that. You're out of your element, Donnie. Stop talking.
Yeah, you know what was funny? Like when I'm hearing, well, one of the many things that was funny that I was hearing that he was saying, when he said, "Do they even have a quality win?" and then proceeds to tell me the teams that, well, this guy was out and this guy's out, but then say the Bulls have these bad losses, but then leave out all the people that are out for the Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Like that. I don't understand how that works right there. We're just gonna forget the back-to-back. When they played the Miami Heat, that they went down to Florida and then came back from Florida and played the Miami Heat, lost by 3. I give you the Rockets loss. That's just a bad loss. Period. Point blank. I ain't got nothing else for you. You're absolutely right. But to act like the Bulls don't have no quality wins in a gauntlet stretch where nobody thought the Bulls are going to come out over 500 or anything like that, that's bad.
Like how many quality wins the Bulls have, Dave? 14. 14 of them, because each win counts towards their record, which gets them to the playoffs or not. Therefore, every win in the NBA regular season is a quality win. And I don't want to hear about no Kyrie. Guess what? As far as I understand it, Kyrie not on the Nets this season. You don't say, oh, well, they didn't have Kyrie. Yeah, that's because this Nets team is Kyrie-less.
Yes.
Same thing with Kawhi and the Clippers. You knew coming into this season that team would not have Kawhi services. So it's not like the fact that the Bulls played the Clippers like every other team this season without Kawhi. Oh, well, that win counts for less. No, it counts as a win. And the team you face that night is the team you face that night. Get out of here with this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, now you're bringing back old school Peck, and I like it. This is an old school Peck coming back in here. I dig it. But yes, what he said, that is the truth there, Benny. Like, all these wins are quality. You need all of them. Like, you don't sit there and you look at the Nets and you're like, they're without Kyrie, and then you look at their record, they're the best in the East. So yeah, they're still a good basketball team. All right. And Washington is a good basketball team, because trust me, I watch a lot of Washington Wizards basketball because of my main man DG, who had 18 and 10 last night. Just want to say that also, sir. Yeah. But yes, they're a good basketball team with Montrezl Harrell and with Kyle Kuzma and with our guy Spencer Dinwiddie and what they're doing over there, of course, Bradley Beal. But yeah, the East is awesome this year. The East is really, really good. And the Bulls are second in it. That's saying something, man. Like, they're a good team. Sit back, enjoy the winning. It feels nice. It feels good. And let's see if the Bulls can beat the Knicks. I don't know what would be a quality win in your eyes. Who would be a team you would point to and say, that's a quality win? You know what I'm saying?
I guess, the Bulls haven't played the Monstars yet this season, so we didn't have that opportunity for a quality win. Haven't played the Globetrotters yet. Haven't played the 86 Celtics yet. I mean, come on, where are the quality wins?
Haven't played the 92 Dream Team. Like, so he really beat nobody. Oh, man, dude. Oh, these are all quality wins, man. Enjoy it. But yeah, enjoy it. But the 3-point shooting of what you said, yeah, like, they don't take a lot, but they hit them. You know what I mean? And I'd rather have that, you know what I'm saying, than taking more. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just make the ones that you take. Ayo will take like 2 or 3 a game, but he's hitting like 2 or 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. Lonzo, shooting, like you said, 44%. Caruso, solid 3-point shooter. You're going to see the numbers creep up for Vooch. Like, that's just what it's going to be. That's just what's going to happen. You think Zach's numbers are going to get better too. Remember, and again, you're leaving out Zach LaVine's injury as well when you're talking all this as well.
Hello.
Yeah, you're forgetting that as well too. But yeah, all this stuff is going to increase. But the beauty of it is they're still winning in spite of that. They're still second in the East in spite of that.
Ding, ding,
and they're still growing. So enjoy, my friend. Have some cake. It's all right.
Man, that is shout out to Benny. Just a classic Bulls fan comment. Man, I love the Bulls. I love the Bulls, but I'm annoyed or unsatisfied about X, Y, and Z. And by X, Y, and Z, I actually mean every letter A through Z. And let me tell you about them. My goodness. Yes, the Bulls could do with a little bit more volume in their 3-point shooting. That would help. But again, Vooch shot comes up. Zach becomes his more lethal 3-point shooting self that he was last season, because he's been a bit in a bit of a slump. And these other guys on the team, take and make confidently when they get open looks, I think, it's not as big of a problem as just, like, I don't think that they necessarily need to go out and address that at the trade deadline or anything
There
like
it
that.
is. Yeah. It's not deal breaking or anything
Right.
like that. Like, they got to have size is what you got to have right now. That's what we're focused on, is size.
So why didn't they sign Boogie Cousins, Dave?
They don't know what they're doing up there. They don't know what's going on up there. Oh God. What are they doing? What are they doing?
I like how your impression of a Bulls fan has just devolved into the "they took our jobs" guy from South Park. What are they doing? Hey, you don't like the Bulls, so you can just get out. America. Oh my goodness. It's off the rails. Let's go. We got a Bulls Knicks game to watch.
Man.
Thank you for everybody. Whether or not we agreed with you, thank you for your questions and comments. Always appreciate it. Always enjoy these episodes talking with our fellow Bulls fans. If you want to be a part of the show, hit us up on that text and voicemail line. 331-979-1369 is the number. You can also, of course, always hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Bulls_Peck. Dave is at BAWL Sports. Bow. We are at Locked On Bulls. We will have you a Friday episode breaking down this Bulls Knicks game that's happening later tonight. So stay tuned for that one. We'll talk to you later. See you, Red. Be good. Peace out.
Benny!